All right, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. Got a whole bunch of good stuff for you today. And the first thing that I want to talk about is, oh my God, the Paragon pump. Just in case you haven't noticed that and you've been living under a rock. In a dramatic turnaround for one of 2017's most egregious ICO projects, Paragon Coin recently fined $250,000 by the SEC for selling an unregistered security, and it was ordered to repay its investors, has cracked the top 20 cryptocurrencies by market capitalization, and it's now worth over $500 million. Funny, we don't remember anybody urinating on our rug last night or any trips to White Castle. I like that. As noted by Crypto Briefing recently, as this week, the list is much easier to manipulate than it should be. Paragon's extraordinary rise was based on a volume of just $28,000 and a price of $8.10, which represents a gain of about 7,000%. So it was headed by a celebrity model and promoted by a rapper. So it definitely doesn't have any claim to $500 million. And let's take a look at Paragon. Come on now. Now this only says 135% because it's way down since this actually happened. But you can see if you just pull it out to the 7-day chart, Paragon is traditionally about a penny, and you can see that it went from a penny, and there's some weird activity there of pumping it from just a penny to $1.68. So this was sort of some precursors to a pump and dump scheme. Why these little jumps and little pumps in there? Who knows? But you can see here that it basically went from maybe a solid 3 cents to just over $10, about $10.30 or so. So it had a market cap of like pretty much nothing, and then it shot all the way up to 500 some thousand dollars. You might be able to still see it in CoinMarketCap here. Let's see what position it's still at. They may have actually just sort of removed it. Yeah, it looks like they may have just kind of gotten rid of whatever had happened there with Paragon Coin, and it's all the way down now. It might be in the second. Just a little while ago, I noticed it in the top 100 coins. We'll check the 100 to 200 here. Tron Classic pumped up 342%. Because everybody's getting in on that Tron Classic. But yeah, Paragon is now 131st. So, yeah, if you were holding Paragon and you just happened to set a limit sell order of, I don't know, like 35,000 Satoshis, congratulations, you're like a millionaire now. But other than that, good job, Paragon, I suppose. Moving on to the next, not really an article, more of just something cool. The Fortnite merchant store now accepts Monero through Globy. So you can actually pay with Monero now, which is pretty cool, considering that Fortnite is like every 9-year-old's dream at the moment, and clearly the most popular game in the world right now, at least according to Twitch and basically any other live streaming service or YouTube or anything like that. So pretty much objectively, whether you like it or not, the most popular game in the world right now, which is good for cryptocurrency. And moving on to a next article, Stellar co-founder brands 90% of crypto projects BS. So most financial institutions won't use Bitcoin payment network. Stellar's co-founder, CTO Jed McCaleb, stated in an interview. Speaking to with Yahoo Finance. Does anybody actually watch Yahoo Finance? I don't. How are they still a thing? Anyway, speaking to the online news outlet, McCaleb, who is also known as one of the founding fathers of the defunct Japanese Bitcoin exchange Mt. Gox, as well as the co-founder of Ripple, made an argument in favor of use of permissionless open blockchains and in finance. So he says it doesn't need to be the Bitcoin blockchain, but if it's not a public chain, then you're missing the point. McCaleb also leveled criticism at cryptocurrency projects that were not born, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or his own Stellar. 90% of these projects are BS. I'm looking forward to that changing, said when asked about the outlook for cryptocurrency industry in 2019. He said, things like Tron, it's just garbage. but people dump tons of money into it, and these things that just do not technically work. Built as an alternative token development platform to Ethereum, Tron has upped its publicity efforts this year. Yeah, because Justin Sun, he's going to make an announcement that there might be an announcement on a day that he's thinking about making an announcement. And if it's not on that day he's thinking about making an announcement, it's going to follow through 3 days after that day, regularly lambasting the Ethereum network over its alleged shortcomings. Celebration of Tron accruing its 1 millionth user account this month were likewise met with skepticism. So for Caleb, however, no single cryptocurrency network or associated token forms an all-encompassing solution, including Stellar and its own in-house coin, Lumens. So yeah, Stellar's kind of competing with Ripple to be a bank coin. And I suppose a public ledger is better than, you know, an undisclosed ledger. The idea, I think, that governments are going to use a cryptocurrency with a public blockchain is just absolutely crazy. And I think the idea of banks using it with a public blockchain is pretty crazy too, other than just transferring funds maybe from user to user across nations or something like that at best. Because if you think that, you know, the Federal Reserve or whatever your country's central bank is, or whatever your banking institutions really want to be public, I think they would have been public a long time ago, and they can't do their bidding with a public blockchain. Of course not. That would just be silly. So I don't know about the future of Stellar and Ripple and things like that. I think one day there will be, you know, because we already have digital essentially. It really is. I could send you money across the world, and it's really just a bank teller going, okay, you want it to go to this account. She types in the account number and then goes boom on a computer. The reason why it takes so long in between, anybody's guess for the most part, the banking. So maybe they want it that way. Otherwise, they could just credit pretty much immediately. Bitcoin mining difficulty adjusts 10% upwards for the first time in months as well. Data from Statistics Resources Blockchain and Bitcoin Wisdom confirms that the Bitcoin's network most recently difficulty adjustment was up, not down, but just over 10%. And so the period since July has seen repeated downward adjustments as the Bitcoin price dropped and miners needed lower costs to avoid participating in the network at a loss. Unprecedented in the past 7 years. A total of 5 downward adjustments appeared this year, 1 in July, October, November, and 2 in December. And the largest such shift came December 3rd at 15.1%, which was, if I recall correctly, the second largest decline in Bitcoin hash rate since like 2011. So everybody is just basically coming under pressure, abandoning networks en masse due to profitability concerns. But things are starting to move up just a little bit. I think people realized the difficulty went down, so a few people plugged in their rigs to have things move along just a little bit. Market cap of 129 billion here. You know, we had a nice another little pump that's just going right on down like a slide. Gotta love those organic pumps. We all love those organic crypto pumps. I mean, clearly everybody just bought all at the same time. It's just like everybody's getting together, and you know, I mean, if you're not a part of that group, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you guys are doing. You're not a part of the group that all just says at the exact same time, at the exact same minute, that they're gonna pump Bitcoin by hundreds or thousands of dollars. You're out of the loop. Oh, I hope you guys got that sarcasm. 129 billion, so nothing too crazy just going on yet. Backed futures might raise that price a little bit, but again, me personally, not a fan of institutional investing, but I suppose it's going to come regardless what anyone thinks, because wherever the money goes, that's where the institutions go. I want to finish this off showing you guys this this wonderful transaction highway. Now you might think to yourself, what is this at first? This is a representation of transactions going through 2 different networks. One of them is Bitcoin and one of them is Bitcoin Cash. This is clearly a made to support Bitcoin Cash. As you can see this gigantic logo in here and this tiny, look, you can see it right in the middle of the road here, right in the middle of the road, Bitcoin Core. Oh, Bitcoin, who calls Bitcoin Bitcoin Core? Roger Ver. So yeah, this is a Bitcoin.com transaction highway. You guys got it. You're clever people. So Basically, it shows the 1 megabyte Bitcoin blocks here, and then the 2 megabyte scratched out, and it says under construction here. And in tiny, tiny of the smallest letters, it says future home of the Lightning Network. It says under construction. Check back in 18 months. Ellipses, maybe. So what does this represent? It represents the transactions on the network. So Bitcoin Cash made this to represent how many lanes they have on their highway of 32 megabyte block size, because it's now Bitcoin Cash ABC with that sweet, gigantic block size, I guess. There's a whale movement. Oh man, somebody moved a lot of Bitcoin Cash. Awesome. So you can kind of see like what these are, I guess. Like there's like a micro transaction there with the little car and little, it's so stupid, whale transaction and whatnot. So you can see these little micro transactions of Bitcoin Cash going through from time to time, and then Bitcoin itself just has non-stop transactions going through. And you might at first be like, well, there's only one highway, so all the cars have to go through there. But you can see it's clearly and absolutely disproportionate. That Bitcoin has way more transactions on its network than Bitcoin Cash. Look, guys, just see, he chose highway number 31 megabyte there. And then let's just see. Let's hold our breath and see if we don't die before a Bitcoin transaction occurs. Oh my God! I just saved by the Bitcoin Cash transaction. Thank you, Bitcoin Cash. I thought I wasn't gonna make it there, but it's pretty funny how it kind of backfires on Bitcoin Cash that they go through the trouble of making this highway to show you how awesome Bitcoin Cash is, and there's just nobody's using it. So like, great job. Good job, Bitcoin Cash. But that's all I have for you guys today. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video. That helps a lot. I have a links in the description below to my social media, Twitter, Steam, Twitch, etc. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And as usual, I will see you guys next time.